Health, safety, and compliance daily. Safety isn't a binder. It's the way you start your day, write things down, and talk to the people who can fix problems fast. That line lands because you feel it on set. The minute you miss a step, you don't just risk an incident, you create confusion. A crew member asks a question and you can't point to the right note. A change happens on the floor and your paperwork doesn't match what people actually did. A supervisor asks what you verified this morning, and you have to scramble through text to find an answer. This chapter gives you a practical way to build health, safety, and compliance into your daily routine using two things you control: your documentation habits and your set communication. After you read it, you'll be able to run a consistent start of day to wrap workflow that produces clean, usable records, and you'll know exactly what to say, and to whom, so your updates meet what production expects. Health, safety, and compliance documentation plus set communication that hold up on union set productions. Safety and compliance work isn't only about following rules. It's about making sure everyone can trust the record and act on it. When your documentation matches what happened on the floor, safety leadership can verify controls quickly, supervisors can enforce standards without guessing, and you can respond to questions without digging through your phone. Most coordinators don't struggle with caring, they struggle with consistency under pressure. You're juggling call sheets, coverage, vendor arrivals, location needs, and last-minute changes. If you treat safety documentation like an afterthought, it turns into a pile at the end of the day. If you treat safety communication like a quick chat, it turns into missing context the next time something changes. B33, coordinator on union set productions, handles this by using a tight daily rhythm. Her goal isn't to write more. Her goal is to write the right things, at the right time, in the right format, so the record stays current and the crew gets clear direction when it matters. The Safety First Daily Loop, documentation habits and set communication B's method is called the Safety First Daily Loop. It's a simple routine you run every day, even when the day feels calm. It keeps your safety record clean and your communication specific. Run it in 4 pieces. 1. Start with a today's safety snapshot and distribute it immediately. Before the crew spreads out, you pull together the safety essentials you need for that day: site-specific hazards, required PPE, personal protective equipment, access limits, and any active safety restrictions, like a locked-off area or a controlled traffic pattern. You send this as a short message to the right channels or the right group, often production office plus department heads, depending on your show flow. Expected outcome: people get the same starting point before they make decisions on the floor. 2. Verify and document every time you confirm something new. When a location walk, equipment check, or safety briefing changes the plan, you document it right away. You don't wait until wrap. You record the time, what you verified, who provided the info, and any constraints that affect work. If you confirm a guardrail is in place or a lift inspection is current, you note it. Expected outcome: your record matches reality, even after the day gets busy. 3. Use closed-loop communication for safety-critical updates. For anything that can cause harm or stop work, whether changes affecting rigs, a new hazard, a lockout, a safety stop, you don't just broadcast information. You confirm it landed. You ask for a quick acknowledgement from the person responsible for the next action, often a department head, safety rep, or lead. Expected outcome: you prevent "I thought someone else handled it" failures. 4. End with a wrap safety log that captures what changed and what's still unresolved. At wrap, you record what you learned, what you corrected, and what stays open for tomorrow. You include any incidents, near misses, no injuries but something almost went wrong, refusals, or safety stops, even if the situation resolves quickly. You also note when you expect follow-up, like a vendor to recheck a cable route. Expected outcome: tomorrow's start doesn't repeat yesterday's confusion. A quick comprehension check: when you finish your day, can you answer, in 1 minute, what hazards were active today, what controls did we use, and what needs follow-up? If you can't, your loop isn't capturing the right details yet. What documentation should look like on set? You don't need a novel. You need clarity. V keeps her notes structured so she can reuse them: date and set/location, time of verification or briefing, who confirmed the item, name or role, what changed, 1 line, the constraint that affects work, 1 line, any reference to a document or tag, inspection form, equipment tag, permit, or callout. What set communication should sound like? B keeps it direct and action-oriented. We added a controlled access zone at Bay 3 from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Department leads need to route crew through Gate B. Rigging crew, stop work for wind gusts above the established limit. Safety lead will restart after recheck. Vendor cable run must stay clear of camera track. I need the gaffer to confirm reroute is complete. Takeaway to carry into tomorrow: Treat safety documentation like a working tool, not a compliance trophy. Putting the Safety First daily loop to work on a real union set. Here's how B runs a day when it includes location work and rigging, two areas where safety details change quickly. Step-by-step workflow with expected outcomes. 1. Arrive early and confirm your today's safety snapshot. B checks the latest safety notes from the production office or safety lead, then updates the day's constraints based on what she sees on the floor. She includes the basics plus any active restrictions. Expected outcome: department heads don't start from outdated assumptions. 2. Run the location walk checklist for anything that can change the hazard picture. She focuses on the items that affect movement, access, and equipment use, exits and blocked paths, trip hazards around set dressing, overhead risks near lighting or rigging points, ground conditions for lifts and carts. Expected outcome: she catches small issues before they become production stoppers. 3. Verify equipment compliance before crew uses it. If the day includes a lift, genset, or rigging hardware, B confirms the inspection status and tags on the equipment itself. She logs the verification time and who signed off, or the role that provided the confirmation. Expected outcome: you prevent the slow burn problem where someone discovers an issue mid-take. 4. Send your first safety message and keep it short. B sends a short update to the group that matters, often department heads and safety reps, covering active hazards and access limits, any required PPE changes, for example, eye protection in a debris area, where to report concerns on that day. Expected outcome: crew receives consistent direction before they disperse. 5. Use closed loop communication for every safety critical change. Midday, weather shifts and the safety lead updates the wind limit for rigging operations. B immediately announces the stop condition to the rigging lead and camera/lighting leads who schedule around it, asks for acknowledgement from the lead who must enforce the stop. Expected outcome: work pauses where it must, and teams don't keep running until someone tells them. 6. Document what changed the moment it changes. B logs the weather triggered update with time, source, safety lead, and the operational constraint. If production continues with non-rigging work, she notes the boundary clearly. Expected outcome: your record shows how the crew adapted safely, not just that something happened. 7. Wrap with a wrap safety log that sets up tomorrow. B records what safety stops occurred, if any, and resolution time, any near miss notes in plain language, what happened, what prevented injury, any open items for the next day, vendor recheck, missing paperwork, unresolved access issue. Expected outcome: tomorrow's start doesn't inherit today's loose ends. Quick checklist: confirm the day's active hazards and access limits before crew disperses, verify equipment compliance on the floor, don't rely on memory, log time plus who confirmed plus what changed plus the constraint that affects work, communicate safety critical changes with closed loop acknowledgement, record near misses and safety stops in a wrap log, with follow-up notes. When you finish this loop, ask yourself, if a safety lead reviewed your notes tomorrow morning, would they understand what you controlled and what you left for someone else? What to watch for: mistakes and edge cases that break compliance even when your intent is right. These are the patterns that create problems. B sees them often, and they're fixable. Notes that don't match what the crew actually did. This happens when you write briefed crew on safety but you don't capture the actual constraint. Or you document a location condition that changed an hour later, and your log stays frozen in time. Do this: recall the constraint in the same moment you confirm it on the floor, one line that tells someone what they must do differently. Not this: write broad statements like safety briefing completed without the specific hazards, routes, or operational limits. Broadcast only safety communication. If you send a message to a group chat and assume it landed, you risk gaps. On union sets, the right people may not monitor every channel, and department heads may only check messages when they're already scheduling. Do this: use closed loop communication for safety critical updates. Ask the responsible lead for acknowledgement, then log that you received it. Not this: assume everyone saw it after one broadcast, especially when the change affects work stoppage or access. Near misses that never make it into the wrap log. A near miss feels not worth it because no one got hurt. That's exactly when you need it. A near miss often shows you where your controls are weak, like a cable route that keeps getting moved, or a traffic pattern that confuses crew. Do this: write a plain language near miss note in the wrap log, what happened, what prevented injury, and what you changed afterward. Not this: leave near misses out because nothing happened, or only mention them verbally without documentation. Practical reflection prompt: pick one recent day and scan your safety notes. If someone asked you tomorrow, what did you enforce, and what did you verify? Would your paperwork answer in under a minute? Safety documentation and set communication work best when they behave like a system you can run, even when the schedule gets messy. If you keep the Safety First daily loop tight, your records stay usable, your updates land with the people who can act, and compliance stops feeling like a last-minute scramble. And that momentum matters, because the next step in strong production coordination is making sure your daily metrics and reporting also reflect what the crew actually experienced.